First, thank you everyone for your time to participate in this workshop. And today I'm gonna give you a brief introduction to Empath, which is amazing, amazing software for ecological momentary assessment and interventions. So my name is Sibo Gao, and I'm currently a graduate student in Department of Human Development and Family Sciences in the University of Texas at Austin. So first, some resources for empaths. The most important one is the homepage here. Yeah, so I've already asked my lab mate to send the link to download the slides and also the steps to create account and download app in the chat. So you're feel free to look at the slides while I'm going through this workshop. So here we are gonna enter the homepage. So the homepage have a lot of information, and it also you can see some brief introduction. For example, some nice short videos of Empath. You'll also find a manual in the homepage that is like a help function in R. And for example, if you want to look at how to create account and download the app, you can click getting started and it will be the step 0. You're welcome to create an account and download the app now so that you can follow the steps in this workshop, but it's also okay if you don't have time now. Okay, so we've already introduced some resources, including the manual. Sorry. I'll also show you how to use the search function of the menu. So for example, if you are interested in how to create a multiple choice question, then you can just type multiple choice. And then there will be a step-by-step guide on how to create a multiple choice question. And sometimes they'll even have short videos for example, how to create a question. So it's really easy to use and nice for users. Okay, so why would I recommend using Empath? So first, I would say because it's designed especially for ecological momentary assessment studies and also interventions. For example, it incorporates the schedule function, which makes it really easy to distribute the questionnaires. And I don't think a lot of softwares can do that. It is also very user-friendly. For example, there are a lot of small functions that can be used to increase the response rate. For example, there are self-learning other options in multiple choice questions. There are some questions called smiley questions that allow you to visualize the emotions. You can also set the questionnaire so that participant may be able to see their last time answer. And I know that you may be confused about all these functions now, but no worries, I will introduce them later in this workshop. For researchers, it is also very easy to use. Because I'm very confident that after this 1-hour workshop, you will be already be able to use this software to do your own research. So now we're gonna start to introduce some of its functions. So first, the dashboard and mobile app. Okay, so first, we can use our computer to enter the dashboard. And I'm now going to show you how to do that. So first, we'll go to the MPass homepage, and then we click Login. So if you don't have an account yet, you can create one, but I already created one, so I'm now just gonna log in. So it's free to create account, so don't worry about this part. So now we can see a dashboard. So this is a place that you see all your participants, all your data, all the visualization. So it's all in one place. For example, now here, this square is one participant called C, and sorry. And in the real study, you may have multiple participants, so they'll all be listed here. Each of them will be a small square. And then if you want to edit the questionnaires and schedule, you can click Edit. And this will be the place that you will edit the questions. And if you scroll down, this will be the place that you create all the schedules. And I'll introduce them in detail later. You'll also be able to visualize all the data. For example, here you'll be able to see the response rate, and you'll be also be able to see the distribution of some variables. And here you can choose like which variable you would like to visualize. You can also directly see some basic stats results, for example, linear regression. Similarly, you will be able to choose like your X and Y variables. Here is another interesting function. It's called library. So this is a place that you can share your questionnaires and schedule with all other users. But of course, you can also choose not to share. You can just change the status here. Another function I want to introduce briefly here is the auto-enroll. For example, if you want to incorporate the baseline questionnaire or intake questionnaire into MPass, obviously you can also do that, but I'm not gonna introduce in detail here. Okay, so we just briefly introduced the dashboard, like what we can see in dashboard, and now we're gonna move on to the mobile app. So the participants, they need to answer the questionnaires through their mobile phones, and so they need to download a mobile app. So I cannot show you my mobile phone right now, so I made some screenshots for what it will look like on the mobile app. So, for example, this is a participant's phone, like what the participant will see before the answering the questionnaire. They'll receive a notification. For example, they'll ask, "Do you have some time for questions?" If they click Start Now, then they'll be able to start answer the questions. Here are two examples of the questions. For example, this is a smiley question, and this is a multiple choice. After answering the questions, if you check some of the functions in MPass, then the participants will be able to see the visualization of their past answers, their history, answer history, and whether they earned any awards. I know that you may think whether I can disable these functions. The answer is definitely yes, and I'm gonna show you how to do that later. This is our first section about the dashboard and mobile app. So um, do you have any questions now? I would be happy to answer the questions. So if you don't have a question yet, no worries, because we'll have a question answering time for at the end of each section, and at the end of this workshop, we are also gonna have a time for discussion and answering questions. So now I'm gonna move on to the next section. The very exciting section of how to create questionnaires. Okay, I'm also gonna show you how to do this through the dashboard. So this is a place that we edit our all the questions, um, and the schedule. So first we are gonna create a new interaction. So in MPAS, they call an assessment an interaction. So you can see the cursor here. It's a orange box. So you just click this orange box. For example, you can choose whether you want to create a questionnaire from scratch, or you can just use one template from the library. So for example, if we want to start from scratch, we just click it, then a new questionnaire will be created. And this is a button to save the questionnaire. So if you make any change, don't forget to click this button to save all your changes. These are the buttons that if you click them, you'll send the current questionnaire to your phone, or you can send it to your client. You can use it as a way to test the questionnaire. This will be the place that you actually create the question, each item. So for example, this is if you can see my cursor here, you just click it, and then you'll be able to see all the question types that you are able to create. I'm gonna introduce each of them later in this workshop. So for example, you want to create a yes or no question, you just click it. And then you'll have a new question. So it's very easy and straightforward. Okay, so now what if you want to create a sub question? It's also very easy. Can you see this little down arrow here? You just click this down arrow, and then it will be the same to create the question, the former question. You just click it and choose the type of question you want to create. And then you now get a sub question. Here, if we move the cursor here, can you see this little eye icon? If you click it, it will show you this what this item looks like on participant's phone. So for example, you'll be able to see this yes and no question, and you'll be also able to click the buttons. So it's a nice way to see like how the item really works. You can also duplicate the question really easy. You just need to click this icon, and then a new question will be created. You can also like move the sequence of the questions. For example, you just need to click this triangle, and then the sequence of the questions will be changed. If you want to delete this question, you just click this trash can icon, and then this question will be deleted. Okay, so next we're gonna introduce some like options uh, for these questions. So the first, we're gonna introduce the general options here. So these general options, they are the same for all types of questions. I'm gonna introduce three like very interesting and main general options. For example, uh, allow visualization in app, allow comparison to previous answer, and show in app log. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like if you check these general options. So for example, if you choose allow visualization, then this item or this question will be visualized in add participants. And next, if you choose allow comparison to previous answer, then this little clock icon will appear at participants end, and if they click it, they'll be able to see their previous answers. And next, if you choose show in app log, the participants will be able to see their answer history. And of course, you can uncheck these little boxes so that the participants won't be able to see their data. And next, we have specific options. So similar, like as implied by the name, the specific options are different for each type of questions. And let me see, I'm gonna introduce them later, like uh, which are the specific options that are really highlights of empath. So now I'm gonna introduce some different question types that we can create. So empaths can create a lot of different types of questions, and I think it's quite similar to Qualtrics. For example, you can have open questions, yes or no questions, and you can have a lot of multiple choice questions. You can have simple multiple choice, other questions, multiple smiley questions. It's like a visualized version of different emotions. Something I find really interesting is the body part question, because you can use this question to indicate like of which part of your body hurts. You can also set it to like participants can like flip the front and back of this little person. So for example, if they have a lower back pain, they can also indicate that. You can also insert images into the multiple choices. Next, we are gonna introduce a smiley question, which I really like. For example, if we have a smiley stress question, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So if you drag this slider, you'll be able to see the change of this expression. I think it's really intuitive and straightforward for participants, and I think it's really cute. Let me see. We also have a slider question that is quite similar to the smiley question, except that they don't have the expression. We also have the time, date questions. You can also achieve it if you want to insert audio or video into your question here. They have a lot of advanced items. Not gonna introduce them one by one, but I'm gonna show you a very, I think, very useful type of question. It's called follow-up question, because some of you may be interested in the burst design, and you can definitely achieve this in MPass. For example, this is a question of how stressful you feel in the past 3 hours, and we are gonna add a follow-up question for it. We just choose follow up, and then we can choose, for example, if the participant feel like super stressful, like above 80, and then it'll trigger this follow-up question, and you can set like, for example, after 15 minutes, the participant need to answer a follow-up questionnaire, and you can choose the questionnaire here. And of course, you can add multiple follow-up questions. So in this way, you can you can do a burst design, and I think is really helpful. Okay, so now we're gonna introduce the specific options of two type of questions, multiple choices and slider. First, we go to multiple choice. So this specific option that I really like is called self-learning multiple choices. When you set, you may have an other option for the multiple choice question. So here, first you need to designate which option is the other option. So for example, here is number 4. Then we need to type 4 here. So then if you check self-learning multiple choices, what it will do is that, for example, at assessment 1, the participants put, for example, exercise in other option. And then the next time, these options will be automatically expanded. So the next time, there will be 5 options, including exercise. Yeah, so I think it is really helpful and make it much easier for participants to answer the multiple choice questions. You can also make it possible to add more than one other option. So, for example, in one answer, they can add 2 activities in the past 3 hours. For example, exercise and doing chores. We already included chores here, so maybe doing puzzles. Yeah, you can achieve that easily. You can also set the maximum number of options shown. So here I set 6, so the participants won't be able to won't be able to see more than 6 options. You may wonder, like, can participants delete the uh, wrong options? For example, if they had a typo once, unfortunately, they cannot do that. But if you set the maximum number of options shown, so the wrong answer will automatically um, go away because there's a maximum number of options shown. Okay, so next, we're gonna show you the specific option of slider questions. So here, let me see how to set it. Yeah, so the smiley question and slider question, they both have this specific option called annotate last answer. So what it will do is that if you check this box and then um, at participants end, they'll be able to see this uh, small comment box annotating their last time's answer. So and so the developers said that participants really like this function, and they have also done a study that shows there's no difference between the answers with or without the anchor, and there was less measurement error for the version with an anchor. So that's quite inspiring, but yeah, it's always your option whether you would like to incorporate this function. Okay, so we finished this part of creating questions. So do we have any questions here? I'm happy to answer them. You can put your question in chat, or you can just turn on your microphone. Thank you, Ludus.
I have a
Okay,
good question.
yeah,
Sorry, I might
yeah,
miss
of
this
course.
because I joined late. I wonder if we are able to like set up a daily diary survey for participants while reminding them at different times.
So,
I mean, like different participants,
yeah,
they would prefer to be reminded at different time points throughout the day. Are we able to do that in Empath?
yes, that's a great question. You can definitely set that. Um, so I have just tried using myself as a participant, but as you can see, when you added schedule or question, you enter it through the client. So each client will have their own place to edit the questions. So that means when you edit the schedule, it's especially designed for each participant. And I believe that there is a way to, for example, copy this participant's schedule to other participants, but I haven't tried yet because I don't have like other participants. And my hunch is that you can do that through the protocol. Yeah, I think you have to purchase the premium version to achieve this. Otherwise, you have to manually like edit each participant's schedule through their own like interaction. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, thank you so much.
Of course. Um, okay, so now we're gonna move on to schedule. Here I'll introduce how to create schedules. Like I said, for now is for each participant. So creating a schedule in MPass is super easy. It's just like creating a schedule in Google Calendar. For example, if you want to create an interaction from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. You just need to click it. Then a new interaction is created. And then you can choose like which questionnaire you want them to answer at this time point. For example, it's this SG int 1. And then you can set the start time and end time. For example, it's 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then you just change the time. Yeah, and then so now you have a question start from 10 a.m. and end at 11 a.m. You can choose whether you want to send the questionnaire randomly between the start time and end time. So this is also what I really like. It's especially designed for EMA studies. There are other options that you can choose. For example, you can make it to be a required questionnaire. You can set reminders for the participants, and actually you can set more than one reminder, and you can achieve this by um, typing multiple times. For example, this means that you send a reminder 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 45 minutes. I think it's after the first reminder. Sorry, after when you send the questionnaire to the participants. You can also set expiration time. So here it means that after the questionnaire is fired, it will be expired in 60 minutes. And after 6 minutes, participants won't be able to answer the question. Okay, so here are some settings. And like this, you can create multiple interactions in a day. For example, this means that you want the participants to answer 4 times of the question in one day. And you may wonder, like, this is like, for example, you want the same schedule for participants across a week. Then how can you do that automatically? You just need to click fill, this button, and then you indicate the number of days that you want MPass to automatically fill. For example, if it's a 5-day study, then you type in 4, and then it automatically fill 5-day schedule for participants. So it's very convenient. Let me see, we already covered the autofill schedule. Okay. So this is a brief introduction of the schedule. Yeah, like I said, here we can only create a schedule for each participants. And to be honest, I'm not quite familiar with how we can create the schedule, for example, the same schedule for all participants. Yeah, but I believe that in the manual, we can see more detailed instruction of how to do that. For now, for the schedule part, do we have any questions?
There was a question in the chat about the price.
Thank you, Nicole. That's a great question. So I'll cover it um, in the next section. So I'll cover it in the next section. Do we have other questions for the schedule part? Okay, so now we're gonna move to the language, country and area, and pricing information.
Hi, Siba. I have a
Yeah.
quick question. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for this. I just have a quick question about the schedules. I was trying to unmute myself. Can you create surveys that are different for the morning versus during the day versus at night?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for example, for the first day, so in the morning is SG int 1 questionnaire. for the second questionnaire, like you can choose a different questionnaire. For example, we choose this adaptive smiley one. You just you just set the interaction to be another questionnaire and click OK, and then it'll be a different questionnaire. Yeah, you can also do the same for the evening one. Yeah, just select another questionnaire and you'll yeah, you can achieve this. Yeah, I think that's a
Awesome.
great
Yeah,
question.
it's great.
Yeah, because it's what we also do in what we always do in research.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, so next we're going to introduce the language, country area, and price. So this is participants' mobiles. Participants can choose from the languages. So for now we have English, but for example, if you are interested, if you have participants who speak Spanish, you can also do that. But I think this language setting only change their phone's interface, but it doesn't change the content of the questionnaire. So you may still need to translate your questionnaire by yourself. So there are also some restricted country and area that you may not be able to use MPass because it requires Google's access to send notifications, and it doesn't allow researchers to send texts or call participants. So it may be hard to be used in certain countries or areas that cannot use Google. For example, mainland China. The developers especially mentioned that it cannot be used in Huawei mobile phones because they they don't use Google. So that's something to remember. And last, we have the pricing information. Like, um, so like I said, one really good thing is that they have a free version, and it's actually quite generous because it has 50 clients per year. Yeah, so you can use it to do some pilot studies. But if you want to explore some more advanced features and have more participants, you need to purchase a premium version. But I think the price is quite reasonable. You can also customize MPass for your own research, but you may need to contact MPass developers to discuss the price. And here, I'm gonna show you like some advanced features in the premium that I forgot to cover earlier. It's, oh, sorry. So it's the mobile sensing functions. For example, if you purchase the premium version, you can enable mobile sensing, and then you may be able to get locations, step count, noise level, etc. This kind of information. So that's a bonus for the premium version. Here are some highlights to me that I summarized, and I think we covered all of them in our workshop. So I'm not gonna go through them one by one, and you are very welcome to download the slides to like read them if you are interested. And I would like to express gratitude for support from Center on Aging and Population Sciences, St. David's Healthcare, and National Institute on Aging, and Texas Aging and Longevity Consortium for supporting this workshop. And thank you so much for coming. And I would like to answer any questions or discuss any questions you have.
Sibo, there's a question in the chat. It says, can you assign different interactions based on the language choice of the participant?
Yeah, thank you very much for your very interesting workshop. And this program just looks great. And I was thinking about how you can apply that in my context, in my area. And I'm from Germany, and one big problem is that many people with migrational background don't speak German. So if I could choose, like they can choose their language, probably Turkish, and then they get a different questionnaire where I've translated all the questions, that would be great. But probably you don't know if that's possible, right?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So, do you mean that you, for example, you have a German version and you want to like automatically translate it into Turkish, and can MPass do that?
No, that you answered already, that it can't. It's only the default text, if I understood you right. But it would be cool, so to speak, if I could have like a translated version, one in Turkish or in some other languages, and then if the participant chooses to have the study in Turkish, then they get the Turkish questionnaire.
Oh, I see. I'm not sure whether you can do that, like whether participants can choose to answer different versions, because for now, the way I think of achieving it is like, for example, for this participant, you like just put in, for example, Turkish for these participants. And then for another participants, you like have to manually put in, like, for example, German for another participants. But it obviously takes more time for researchers to like organize the questions. But I think the library function really saves the time, because you can have questionnaires in different languages, and you just when you create a new interaction for participants, you just like choose that language version of questionnaire, and it may save some time. And also, I think the like when you purchase the premium version, the protocol might help. Like there might be some easier way to like do that, but I'm not sure about that part.
Yeah, no problem. And usually, like if you don't choose the premium version, then you always have to go through the client, right? And it's limited to about, I don't know, 300 or something overall.
That's so. From their website, it seems that for the free version, it's 50 participants per year. Yeah, and I think you're right. You have to program like individually for each participant.
Yeah. May I ask one other question?
Of course.
It's a and the pricing is about the participants. It's not about the numbers of questionnaires. So I could like have 300 participants and I could question them every day.
Yeah, I think so.
right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
of course.
To follow up from the previous question, Siwa, I don't know if this is possible, but I know you mentioned that that you can have a baseline survey and then you can have the daily surveys. And I'm wondering if it would be possible to have the baseline survey, and depending on the responses that participants give on the baseline survey, they get directed to different daily surveys. Because in our study, yeah, I was just wondering because in our study, if participants report that they're Mexican American, for example, they get a different survey than those who say they're another ethnicity. So I wonder if that would be a workaround to do the language thing where, depending on the language that they select in baseline, then they get directed to a different survey based on the language that they report at baseline.
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, I don't know the answer. So,
Yeah,
um,
something to look into, yeah.
yeah, so now I'm looking at the manual, like looking at intake questionnaire. Actually, my hunch is that they can do that because it's called an intake questionnaire.
Okay, yeah, because I think that's what we call it, to intake in the program that I use. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really interesting. Like I also wonder like how it works if we want to do that. Yeah, but I can look at this after the workshop, and I'll email you if I find anything. Of course. Okay, so we are about out of time, but I would be happy to stay around if you have any questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the workshop today. Yeah, so I'm also a starter. I didn't spend like much time like playing around the software, but I can already like know like how to use it and how to customize it for different participants and how to distribute it. So I would say like after this workshop, I'm very confident that you will also be able to like use it in your own research.
Thank you, and I'm excited to see how you use it for yours. I'm excited to see like when you collect data and how it all looks, and yeah, it'll be cool.
Thank you so much, Liz.
All right.
So
I'll see you around. Thank you.
see you.
Dubois, do you want to stop the recording?
Yes.